Hey guys, back with another edition of Brandon's Bets, and don't want to waste too much time, so let's get right into it. This year, in the NFL playoffs, I'm 70% against the spread and 75% overall when you take into account the college football playoff bets that I gave you. So, doing pretty well, pretty hot right now. Um, should have been even hotter, but Mark Andrews last weekend had different had different opinions about that. So, but we're not going to talk about that. That's the past now. So, let's just get right into it. So we got this week the Eagles versus the Washington Commanders, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the Washington Commanders plus 6.5. And that plus 6.5 number is at FanDuel. Um, I don't bet anywhere else but FanDuel. But I've seen around that it like you could get that is plus six most places, but plus 6.5 at FanDuel. But that's the number I got. That's the number I bet, and that's what I'm going with. So plus 6.5 against the Eagles, and a lot goes into that. I'm thinking really number one, Jaden Daniels. Um, at this point, we've seen 6.5 points is too much for Jaden Daniels in these playoffs. He's been that good. He has not played like a rookie. He, if I'm at some point during the offseason, I'm gonna do a full league quarterback ranking, and I'm gonna have Jane Daniels irresponsibly high on that list. So just just be ready for that. I'm all in on Jane Daniels. Um, but yeah, 6.5 points is way too much for him at this moment in time. He's on a crazy hot streak right now, and there's no reason for me to doubt that he can do it against the Eagles. Um, And then on the other side, you got Jalen Hurts that could barely move um, during the game against the Rams last weekend. Soon as he got injured, he couldn't move, and it looked terrible. Now, I'm recording this on Thursday. Earlier today, he was a full participant in practice, so that bodes well for him. I never doubted he was going to play. Like I knew he was always going to play, but how effective will he be really? And just how effective would he have been in general, even without the injury? He hasn't been his stats haven't been that impressive in the playoffs except for when he lost in the Super Bowl. The rest of those games, if you look at the box scores, his numbers haven't been impressive. But he's won a lot of those games, so you got to give him the respect. But um, I'm really, I'm really not seeing it with the Eagles right now. Um, and I really would have had more fun with the Rams and the Commanders, but it wasn't to be. The Eagles pulled it out against my wishes, um, but yeah. So you look at the you look at the two games that the Commanders and Eagles played already this season, and the one that the Eagles won, Jaden was in the midst of recovering from a rib injury, and in the other one, they the Commanders had 5 turnovers, still scored 36 points and won. I, this kid is doing amazing things, and I'm not gonna be the one to bet against him, especially when I can bet him plus 6.5. That just seems easy for me, and I'm gonna take every opportunity to do that. So once again, that Commanders plus 6.5. And then we got the main event of the weekend, Sunday evening, the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs, and I am going to be taking Kansas City minus 1.5. Simply put, I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes. Not betting against Patrick Mahomes. Not betting against the Chiefs until I have reason to bet against the Chiefs. And they haven't given me that reason yet, so I'm gonna stick with them. These past 2 years, I've made I've made a lot of money betting on the Chiefs. And I don't I don't see it I don't see it ending here. And not just because not just because of the Chiefs, but because they have the best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes, maybe the best tight end ever, still playing at that level in the playoffs. And Travis Kelsey. That defense, the defense has been good all year, and the whole team wise, they are the most healthy that they've been all year. They pretty much are the most healthy, like as healthy as they could possibly be. They're missing two receivers, but they still have Hopkins. And they got Hollywood Brown back, and they have Travis Kelsey, and they have Xavier Worthy finally being a real part of the offense. So, um, as far as that goes, I think they are a complete team. They've been a complete team, and the narrative that they haven't been good just because they've been winning close games is ludicrous. You got to make sure ludicrous doesn't pop up like the State Farm commercial, um, but yeah, the Chiefs have been good. Just because they haven't been scoring bunches of points doesn't mean they're good. And also the narrative that's run rampant throughout this week is that the Chiefs get all the calls. And let me tell you, one, that's not true. And two, if that's how you watch football and that is what you're hanging your hat on, then I don't know what to tell you. I really think you're doing it wrong because one, the in the Chiefs games, if you've really been watching football all year for the past couple of years, you can see that the referees aren't just bad in the Kansas City Chiefs games, they're bad in all the games. So it's like people are watching the Chiefs and they think just because there's some bad calls in this game that is just for the Chiefs. No, it's really been every single game all season. There's at least one or two calls that shouldn't be made, and you just got to live with that. You got to live to fight another day if they go against you, and be happy if they go for you. Um, and and again, the narrative all week about how the Chiefs are lucky, the Chiefs get all these breaks, that the NFL's rigged for the Chiefs is just not true. Um, if you if you look at last weekend, the team that should be really mad about the refs is the Ravens. The Ravens got called on defensive pass interference that should have either been called a no call or should have been offensive pass interference. But you didn't hear them complaining about it. You didn't hear them whining in the post game press conferences about it. And I want to take the time to say this right now about the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans, in the post game press conferences and interviews, talking about how they went into the game knowing it was going to be them against the Chiefs and the referees. If you went into the game like that, you lost before you stepped off the bus, before you got off the plane. before you left the facility, you already lost. And I would think a coach like D'Amico Ryans that's actually played football at the highest level would understand not to have his team thinking about that having that be at the front of their mind. Um it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate and that like I I personally never subscribed to blaming the refs for losing because at the end of the day, you if you're on the field, you have a say in what's going and what's going to happen. So the whole narrative, please stop it. Please shut that up. Um, please don't whine about the referees in this game because there's going to be something. I know there's going to be something crazy, but I don't know. I'm just yapping right now because it doesn't really matter. People are going to do what they want to do anyway, and they're going to be crying for the Chiefs or about the Chiefs when they win and when they cover this -1.5 on Sunday. So it is what it is. But getting getting back to the Chiefs, I think they're a well-rounded team. The Bills, they've been a very good team all year, and this is no way disparaging what they've done. Josh Allen's a great quarterback. Um, their defense has improved. They got some guys banged up in the secondary, so that might play a factor. And but I just think I just think going to Arrowhead one more time in the AFC Championship game. Josh is 0-3 against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. I think that plays a factor too. Um, but yeah, just everything put together, I think Kansas City will pull that out. So yeah, little short and sweet here for Brandon's bets. Only two games this weekend. Um, but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun betting these games, and hopefully we get these two victories, and we'll we'll reconvene. We'll reconvene on Monday or Tuesday. So um, yeah, so head to your local sports book or sports book app on your phone. Put those slips in, and let's make some money this weekend. But until then, see you.